Hello and welcome to BYJU'S IAS. Let's get started with our daily quiz and look at question number 1. Which of the following statement is correct? Option A, till 1971, abortion was criminal offense under section 312 of Indian Penal Code as intentional miscarriage. This statement is true. The option is correct. But let's look at other options as well. It was in 1971 that Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act was passed. And according to this act, the pregnancy can be terminated if the pregnancy is up to 12 weeks and if the pregnancy is between 12 to 20 weeks. If a woman is pregnant up to 12 weeks, then one medical practitioner can recommend abortion. And if the pregnancy is between 12 to 20 weeks, then not any one but two medical practitioners should give the opinion that we should terminate the pregnancy, the abortion should be carried. This statement is incorrect because it says pregnancy can be terminated by any one medical practitioner if the length of pregnancy does not exceed 20 weeks. Because it is different for pregnancy up to 12 weeks, different for pregnancy between 12 to 20 weeks. Option C. Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act also states that in no way can the pregnancy be terminated solely on the reason that if the child were born, it would suffer from some physical or mental abnormalities to be seriously handicapped. The reason why abortion is allowed up to 12 weeks and from 12 to 20 weeks is if the pregnancy would involve a risk to the life of the pregnant woman. So if the pregnancy is risky for a woman, abortion can be recommended. Or if there is a risk that if the child is born and the child will suffer from some physical or mental abnormalities, in this case also the abortion can be prescribed. That means this statement is incorrect. Option D, the law provides an exception to pregnant rape victims to abort after 20 weeks. No, the law does not provide for abortion after 20 weeks of pregnancy. That is why even a rape victim has to approach the courts and then the courts can order abortion. And what is the context? This is today's The Hindu newspaper. There was a woman who was 25 weeks pregnant. Ultrasound was conducted and this ultrasound showed that the unborn child, the fetus, both kidneys are absent. But since the pregnancy was beyond 20 weeks, ultimately the couple had to approach the Delhi High Court. Delhi High Court allowed the abortion because the law does not provide for abortion beyond 20 weeks of pregnancy. Question number 2. Which of the following statement is or are correct as far as prevention of cruelty to animals, regulation of livestock markets rules 2017 are concerned? Option 1. Prevention of cruelty to animals is a subject under state list. No, it's a subject under concurrent list. And hence the center can only frame non-enforceable rules regarding the same. No, the center has framed a law and that law is Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960. So statement number 1 is wrong. Statement number 2, the regulations set out to ban slaughter of animals throughout the country except Schedule 6 areas. No. The regulations, they do not put a blanket ban on the slaughter of animals. According to these rules, the ban is only on selling animals in animal markets for slaughter. That means there is no ban on slaughter of animals according to these rules. But according to these rules, you cannot sell animals in animal markets for slaughter. You can sell animals for livestock needs, livestock requirements, but not for slaughter. Statement number 3, the rules have been framed in pursuance of Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960, whose primary objective is to protect animals from slaughter, including acts done for destruction of any animal for food of mankind. The objective of this act is not to ban slaughter of animals, but the objective is to prevent infliction of pain, infliction of unnecessary pain or suffering on the animals. And this act clearly excludes acts done for destruction of any animal for food of mankind. So D, none of the above is the right answer. What is the context? repeal law permitting seizure of livestock, says the Supreme Court. According to these rules, let's say for example, this is an animal X. The police says that the owner of this animal A, he has inflicted suffering or pain on this animal X. That means this A should be booked under Prevention of Cruelty Act, or this owner of this animal A, he is bringing his cattle X to the animal markets for slaughter, which means you're violating the rules of 2017. According to these rules, this animal will be seized and will be lodged in gaushalas. Till what time? Till the final order of the court. In short, a farmer, a livestock owner, or a cattle trader loses his animal before being found guilty of the charge of cruelty. This, the Supreme Court has said, is contrary to the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act, because under this act, only a person who is convicted of cruelty can lose his animal. According to these 2017 rules, this owner is only accused. He is not a criminal. So an accused should not be forced to lose his animal. That is why the Supreme Court has asked the government, either you delete this rule or we will impose a stay on it. That is why this topic becomes important for your examination. Let's look at question number 3. Pangolins are the most trafficked reptiles in Asia and Africa. Yes, pangolins are the most trafficked in Asia and Africa, but pangolins are not reptiles. Pangolins are mammals. That is why statement 1 is wrong. 8 species of pangolins are found in only 2 continents. This statement is correct. Where are they found? In Asia and Africa. All the species of pangolins are critically endangered. No. So only 2B is the correct answer. I told you pangolins are mammals. 8 species of pangolins are found only in Asia and Africa. Out of these 8 species, 4 are found in Asia, 4 in Africa. Out of these 8, 2 are critically endangered according to IUCN Red List. The remaining 6 are only endangered. That means not all are critically endangered. These pangolins are very high in demand, particularly in China and Vietnam, and they are usually used for delicacies. They're usually high in demand for their meat. There are 2 species of pangolins that are found in India. Can be very important statement for your prelims exam. One is Indian pangolin and the other is Chinese pangolin. And it is this Chinese pangolin which is critically endangered, and Indian pangolin is only endangered. Few more details. Where is Indian pangolin found? Himalayan foothills, northern plains, and southern India. And Chinese pangolin is found in northeastern states of India. What is the context? Track social media to check pangolin poaching, says Odisha Forest Department. Let's look at question number 4. The primary legislation that governs the extradition of a fugitive from India to a foreign country or vice versa is the Extradition Act of 1962. Which of the following statements with respect to the above law are correct? Number 1. The Extradition Act replaced all existing treaties that India had entered into with foreign countries. No. Yes, this Extradition Act of 1962, it is an overarching law, but this law is required to be read with the treaties that India has entered into with foreign countries. That means although this is an overarching law dealing with extraditions, that doesn't mean all the other treaties that India has signed with foreign countries, they have been subsumed under this act. No. Statement number 2. The Act provides for special extradition arrangement with any foreign country based on geographic proximity or affiliation to political, legal, or economic ideologies. No. It is safe and rational to assume that strong diplomatic and economic connections and similarity in legal systems can catalyze the extradition process. But these provisions like geographic proximity or affiliation to political, legal, or economic ideologies, these cannot be the criteria for effecting extradition. No. That means just because we are geographically very close to Nepal, that doesn't mean we will have a special extradition arrangement according to this act with Nepal. The act specifically bars any fugitive from being extradited to a non-treaty partner. No. Even if we are dealing with a country X with which we have not signed extradition treaty, that doesn't mean we cannot extradite someone to this country. Statement number 4, extradition treaties entered into between India and foreign states require the principle of dual criminality to be satisfied prior to granting extradition request. Let's say, for example, there is an individual A. This A is in United States right now, and this individual is wanted in India. For which crime? X. Dual criminality means this X should be crime in India as well as in United States. So if this guy is wanted for this crime X in India, this X is a crime in United States as well. That means dual criminality has been satisfied. This dual criminality is the basis for extradition requests. So statement D is correct. What is the context? A British court has rejected Julian Assange's extradition to United States. Julian Assange, the co-founder of WikiLeaks, he is wanted in United States, but his extradition has been rejected by the UK court. Staying with Julian Assange, let's look at Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations in our question number 5. Julian Assange, he was wanted by Swedish authorities as well. Why? Because of some sexual offenses. But what Julian Assange did, he was in UK and he sought asylum in Ecuador embassy in United Kingdom in London. And according to Vienna Convention, the embassy of Ecuador in London cannot be entered into by the police in Britain without the permission of the head of the mission of Ecuador. Which means simply, if there is Pakistani embassy in Delhi, the Indian police cannot enter this Pakistan embassy without the permission of the head of the mission of this Pakistan embassy. This protection is available under Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. Also, this protection is extended to diplomats as well. That means these diplomats, they can commit any crime, but they cannot be arrested by the host country. That means a Pakistani diplomat in India can commit any act of crime, but he cannot be arrested in India. The only thing that India can do, it can declare this diplomat as persona non grata. And once this diplomat is declared as persona non grata, then a time frame is provided. For example, 24 hours, 48 hours. Within this time frame, this diplomat has to leave India. Otherwise, he will be arrested and he will be subject to the law of the land in India. Statement number 1, a person may be declared non grata or not acceptable only after arriving in the territory of the receiving state. No, even before arriving in the territory of the receiving state. That means there may be a diplomat. Pakistan might say that person A is to be appointed as Pakistan's High Commissioner to India. And India would say, no, this person A is persona non grata. That means even before arriving in the territory of India, this person may not be acceptable to India. The mission and its head shall have the right to use the flag and the emblem of the sending state on the premises of the mission. That means the Pakistani embassy, the Pakistani High Commissioner to India, he will have the right to use the Pakistani flag, the emblem of Pakistan on the premises of this mission in Delhi, excluding the residence of the head of the mission. No, including the residence of the head of the mission. That means the private residence of Pakistan's High Commissioner to India may also see a Pakistani flag hoisted on the top of the private residence of a diplomat. So both these statements are incorrect. None of the statements are correct. D is the right answer. Now let's look at fact of the day, a diplomatic bag. What's a diplomatic bag? It's also known as diplomatic pouch. This diplomatic bag is basically a container. Container can be a briefcase, it can be a box. And this container or this diplomatic bag, what it contains? It contains official correspondences, between a diplomatic mission and its home government. For example, we have Indian Embassy in United States of America. Indian Embassy has to send some documents or official papers to India, to New Delhi. These documents or papers are submitted, are transported in this pouch or container, and this is what we call diplomatic bag. And this diplomatic bag has a legal protection. That means this bag cannot be opened. That's the protection available to this diplomatic bag. And there can be anything in this diplomatic bag. For example, it is argued that during World War II, the then Prime Minister of Britain, Winston Churchill, he received Cuban cigars by this method. This is how a diplomatic bag of China looks like. Why this topic becomes important? Because now Election Commission of India has decided that we will use postal ballot scheme for our non-resident Indian voters, for our NRI voters. These NRI voters will be given an electronic postal ballot, and then these NRI voters, they will vote, they will exercise their franchise on this postal ballot, and then this postal ballot paper will be sent to the embassy of India in that country so that the head of the embassy can attest this paper, and then all these papers, all these votes will be transported to India or to the Election Commission of India in this diplomatic bag. So this is right now a proposal. Let's see whether this proposal is accepted or not. That is it from our daily quiz. Thank you for being with us. Have a great day.